More than 1,000 kids reported missing in Ohio this year in an extraordinary search. Did you hear this? This is a story that has fucked my head up that I must get out to the world. 1,000 kids reported missing in Ohio this year. This shit ain't been in the news. I found this on the New York Post, but this should be talked about every day, 365 days of this year since this has started. This should have been talked about. We only got how many more days left in this year? Hey, about 20 some days. 30 days roughly left before the new year starts. So for 340 days this year, kids have been getting kidnapped. And we talking about everything on the news, every story that break with celebrities, but we not talking about these kids. This shit pisses me the fuck off. Well, I'm here to talk about it. And when you hear this podcast, you better share this to everybody you know and get the word out. Children are disappearing from Northern Ohio in record numbers, with more than 1,000 minors reported missing so far this year. You hear that? Now, how can 1,000 kids be missing in one fucking state? One state. Something is going on. Let me read the story and I'm going to break down what the fuck I think. Now, the disappearances are creating a disturbing trend in Northern Ohio, which began in May, when nearly 30 children went missing in just the first 2 weeks. Officials at the time called it an extraordinary surge in disappearances. I call it a goddamn shame. I call it something is going on. We need to look into this. This is dangerous. If this many kids can just get picked up, disappearing, nobody don't know where nobody at, they going missing, people. Listen, this ain't the runaways. They are going missing. This not just happening. You think that 1,000 kids in one state? We've never had this in the history of America, of 1,000 kids being took, disappearing in one state. Come on now. My other thing is, this is a sign of we have a lot of kids that's not being tended to. They not being watched. They not being loved correctly. Because how are all these kids are not being looked at and watched is what I'm trying to figure out. You mean that people are able to take all these kids without nobody seeing nothing and hearing nothing? Nah, that means kids are out here in this world now and parents are not keeping track of them like they supposed to. Now, Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost repeated that a number of missing children is alarming, though he claimed the figure may be inflated due to inconsistencies in updating reports. This shit not inflated. See, that's the thing about politicians. And they want to cover up real shit that's going on for people can't really be at work. They don't want people to know that this is going on in their state because they feel like how they gonna win the next election. This ain't about you winning the next election, you dirty, rotten fucking politicians. This is about saving these kids. So while you worrying about getting the next vote, and if so much crime is going on in your area, if you reveal it, people are gonna be like, what did you do to stop it? We can't stop everything. But it's your job to put it on the map and put it out there in the open and give people the information so they can protect the next kids so this can't happen to them. Now, of course, he said, we are not worried about that. This is what he told News 5 of Cleveland. Now we know is when we look behind the numbers, some of those represent repeated runaways, and local police have talked about that. Repeated runaways. Okay. He added that data for runaway cases, abductions, or sex trafficking is not always entered correctly as the state deals with a police staff and shortage. Why are you got people working for you that's putting in incorrect shit? It doesn't make sense. Even if you do have a short of a police staff, is what this report says, is what this police is saying, right? Is what this attorney general is saying, the reason why the number is saying 1,000. If you have a short staff, that doesn't have nothing to do with the information that's typed in on the computer. They still going to type in what they get in the report. They're not going to just start making up shit. Stop it. Like I said, when people want to get elected again, they want to cover up. This is why this story has been covered up, because politicians in Ohio are worried about trying to get voted again. Now, all of these things have localized reporting problems that, again, are functional of local conditions. Yo said, damn. I mean, you look at some of these girls, man, they 16 and 17. It's sad. Now, he said, we do our best to encourage compliance and improve assistance and remove barriers. But at the end of the day, we have to rely on our local partners that we don't control. I'm fearful of all kind of things that fall through the cracks that includes missing children. I rely on the tenacity of a worrying parent more than I do a hairy bureaucrat whose job is to put data into a computer. Did you hear what this motherfucker said? He said that he relied more on a parent than the person who typing in the information about the kid being missing. So now I guess the parents are supposed to be the police and the investigator to find their kids too. Oh, I try to tell people, we on our own out here now. You better get a gun and you better take the law into your own hand. Because if you don't, you might not never see your child again. You got to investigate. Now, president of Cleveland and the police chief of Newbern Heights previously sounded the alarm on the surge in missing children. I mean, and they all races. They have black kids to white kids. They stealing kids, period. It ain't a color thing. Now, for some reason in 2023, we've seen a lot more than we normally see, which is troubling in the part because we don't know what's going on with some of these kids, whether they're being trafficked or whether they're involved in gang activity of drugs. Here's what he told Fox News back in May, and that he has not seen such high numbers of missing children before in his 33-year career. I just said, in my years on this earth of living, I haven't seen it. Fuck your 33 years of your career. I've never seen 1,000 kids missing, but I know it's possible, and especially with all this sick shit going on the internet and people selling kids. And if they can get them out this country, Lord have mercy, it's over. Especially that movie, like I seen a movie not too long ago. I can't think of the name of it. I'm gonna let y'all know on one of these episodes in the future. But it was a movie about people and they were kidnapping tens and twenties of kids at a time. Yes, and they would take them to a whole nother country where these people would molest these kids. And the only reason they was able to find these kids because it was this one police officer that was relentless. And he went out the country. And he set up a sting where he went out and told the people that he wanted to buy kids. He played like he was a pedophile. And that's how he was able to find the kids. Because people are so into pedophilia these days. If you play like that, that's what you like. That's how you get to the bottom of it. The sick thing about this shit that these people work in teams, they work in groups, they work in crews, they have an organization. So it's fucked up when you got all these people working as a chain link. You know, it's hard to find your child when these people are working like that. So that's why we got to pay attention to the kids and stop letting them go anywhere they want to go. You doing what you want to do, not knowing where they at. Saying, oh, I know my child. No, check on your child. Make sure your child all right. Don't just assume, because there's too much stuff out here that can draw your child attention. And most of these people are weak-minded and they will easily fall for the wrong thing. Now, Major said it's likely that most of the cases involve children who ran away from home and were not abducted. But he said teens can be naive about predators who can be wolves in sheep's clothing. Yeah, you're right. A teenager, especially a teenage girl, you know, they can easily get persuaded by a sick older man. Easily. Because they're grown, they hot, and they want to do what they want to do. And that sick man, he gonna play on that. He knows that's what they want to do. So he gonna give them the action and the adventure and activity that he know they seeking to do whatever sick shit he want to do. And same thing with teenage boys, just a little bit different. But, he can meet an older woman, if he's 15, 16, he meet a woman by 19, sexy, like him, sees potential in him, and she could be ignorant in the streets, fucked up, and she'll grab that little youngster and tag him right along with the stupidity that she doing. Have him doing hood shit just like her, fucking him up, sending him out. So we got to be careful. But this story I had to talk about 1,000 kids being missing. One of these kids, Keyshawn Williams, 15 years old, she vanished after attending a house party. Yeah, after attending a house party, she just vanished. Gilden Hefner, 14, he went missing on September the 12th from American Township. Cameron Nicole Goliath, 17, was last seen in Akron earlier this month. Damn. Elijah Hill, 16, disappeared on September the 20th. Iana Graham, 17, vanished from North Canton on September the 23rd. Just a few days earlier, Tiana Tompkins, 17, was last seen in Cincinnati. Damn. Then, between 5 days apart, Maurice, Honesty, and Chloe, they all disappeared. This shit is crazy of why we can't fit. But most of them are 15, 16, and 17. And I'm going to tell you, too, a lot of times, too, it's so much drug activity going on out here that teenagers can disappear and hide for a long time. Yeah, I'm here to let you know. I've seen it before. They can disappear and hide for a long time. I remember when I was about 27, 28 one time, just out and about in a particular area, and I seen a couple of, girls and shit, and I kind of, one of them, I didn't even know their age. I thought that they was probably 18 or 19, and they ended up finding out that they was 15. And they was doing all the stuff that grown women do for years. Never went to juvenile, never got caught. So it's sad, but hey, it is what it is. We living out here, and these things can go on. So a teenager can easily go somewhere and hide and be undetected. That's the other fucked up thing about it. As far as being kidnapped and took it to another country, that's a whole nother level. But it's so much sick stuff going on with people. Like I said, people selling kids and all this and making them do shit, selling them into prostitution. We got to be careful, man. Like I said, 1,000 kids this year disappeared in the state of Ohio. That's what this episode been about, to bring awareness, to let y'all know, if you got kids, keep an eye on them. This legendary comic. Until the next time, until the next episode, do something with yourself. Do something with your life. It just might be somebody one day, Nico.